Hey everybody, this is Gaupnekaren and welcome back. It's been too long, sorry, fucking procrastination boy over here. I just gotta get back into it, you know? So why not just start with this series? This series right here is a series that I'm quite familiar with. While it is my least favorite of the PS2 platformer trio, it is still a series that I quite enjoy. Sly Cooper. Oh no! Okay there, and let's see here. Also, according to my notes, the word Cooper is a European curse word. I've heard it from SGB and Caricarus, but I have no fucking idea what it means or where the word originated, and 5 minutes worth of research yielded nothing, so if I can't prove that it isn't a curse word, it must be true. Either way, Sly Cooper was known as Sly Raccoon here in Europe. I can remember that I went through this series kinda backwards. I started with 3 in 2007 or something, I think. Then at a later time I played 2, and I think that I played this game in 2011 or something like that. I'm kinda iffy on the details as to how I got the games. I remember that Sly 2 was on a demo disc of some kind, so maybe it was from that I got the idea to get the games, or just maybe a word of mouth. I don't know. I had the PS2 as the main stationary console up until about 2013 when I decided to buy a PS3 with a Ratchet & Clank Tools of Destruction and the Kraken Time bundle. I of course had the GBA SP and DS Lite, so I had enough Pokemon to last me a lifetime. But console-wise, I've replayed my games as much as I could. And the Sly games were of course some of them. The Sly games especially stood out to me due to the games, specifically 2 and 3, having a Norwegian dub. Actually, they didn't just have a Norwegian dub, they also had a Swedish dub, a Danish dub, a Finnish dub, a Polish dub, etc. Considering the fact that I didn't even know coherent English at that point, it was an amazing way to include kids such as me to the story. While I am a bit of an original languages guy nowadays, I still appreciate the attempt, even though the voices themselves weren't maybe the best around, you know. If you think that English dubs can at times sound bad, you have not listened to a single Norwegian dub. Then again, you probably need some form of experience in the language to fully comprehend the quality or lack thereof. Oh, and for the random 12-year-old crying weeb in the comments, bravo, you proved that you have a narrow viewpoint of the world around you. Congratulations! Also, if you're wondering about why I haven't mentioned Sly 4, it's because I've never played it. We good? Good. Let's see how Sly Cooper's first adventure unfolded. The game starts off with these synced audio cues during the first cutscene. Oh boy. I played the PS3 version during recording, and it's not the best way to play the games. In many areas of the game, the music begins in the middle of the track instead of the beginning, so during scenes like this, where the movement is based around the music, it sounds really jarring. Other than that, the collection isn't all that bad, unless you count Bloodbath Bay in Sly 3, but I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. The game starts off with a certain raccoon, breaking into police HQ to steal some sort of file, with his teammates talking to him through his walkie-talkie binoculars. He steals the file and is found out by a cop introducing herself as Carmelita Fox. The raccoon runs for the getaway van and escapes. And now we get to the backstory. He is from a lineage of master thieves who stole mostly from criminals. Everything about them, including their techniques, were written down in their family book, the Thievius Raccoonus. Sly was supposed to receive it when he was a kid, but one day 5 people who were the members of the Thievius 5 came by the house, killed the father, and ripped the book into pieces, scattering with the pages. Sounds pretty bad, but the dad honestly had it coming. Come on, seriously, he wanted to get his kid into the family business at age 8. What the fuck is wrong with him? Sly was sent to the local orphanage, and there he met Bentley and Murray, who would grow up to be his partners in crime as the brains and the wheelman respectively. The files Sly stole from Interpol had the full records of the Fiendish 5, and Sly sets out to get the pages of the Thievius Raccoonus and kill them, I mean make them pay for their crimes. From here on, the overall story takes somewhat of a backseat. You go to the Fiendish 5 members area, go through the levels to get keys to open up the area, beat the member and acquire a page from the Thievius Raccoonus, teaching you a move made by one of Sly's ancestors. On this tale revenge, you deal with Sir Rally, Divendar Mal, Mugshot, a jacked up bulldog that will make Koala Kong blush, Miss Ruby, necrophilia enthusiast, and the Panicking, Po Ping the arsonist. It's only after dealing with them that the story goes along. When the gang takes a closer look at the pictures of Sly's ancestor, don't question feudal Japan photography, we see a silhouette which resembles the last member of the Fiendish 5, Clockwork, who gave me a small dose of alphobia and general paranoia of him blending into the background watching me, and I'm not shitting on you here, I'm completely fucking serious. Question keeps piling up as the gang finds out that Carmelita has been kidnapped. However that happened, Sly wants to rescue her, but Bentley warns Sly that it's most likely a trap. Doesn't stop Sly from being a dumb shit, and Bentley makes use of his hacking skills, instantly freeing them. Sly and Carmelita makes their way towards Clockwork, and Sly grabs a jetpack that Carmelita left behind. Okay, how did Carmelita get captured? Why did she have a jetpack on her? Did Clockwork fly to wherever Carmelita was, or did Carmelita go to Russia due to Clockwork being the last member of the Fiendish Five? And if that's the case, why did she go alone? She's chased after Sly alone in the other chapters, but the cops were in close vicinity if we can go by the cutscenes, where Sly escapes by the skin of his teeth. I just thought about it now, and boy, does it annoy me. Either way, it ends up with Sly having a confrontation with Clockwork, where we find out that Clockwork is an old fucker. He somehow turned himself into an eternal robot owl. Don't think about how the metal hasn't been reduced to a pile of rust, that MacGuffin hasn't been introduced yet. He also says that he didn't kill Sly because he wanted to prove to the world that people suck without experience and stuff. Sly and Carmelita work together to defeat the owl, and he's dead. Maybe. Probably. Who knows? Sly tricks Carmelita because stuff and escapes. The Thievius Raccoonus has been recompleted and the game is over. But actually, Clockwork kind of survived. Well, not really. It's like his soul or whatever is still there, but he's not really alive. This shit is too fucking difficult to explain. Especially since that thing about his soul being there is only based on minor implications in Sly 2. But that's a bit far into the future for me. Our way, the story is fine. The characters are really enjoyable, and the overall direction of the story is, in the later part, unpredictable. Which, is a good thing. The presence of Clockwork was always there, but you most likely don't see it until you've actively taken a close look. The middle part isn't all too eventful, as one could say, but I don't really mind that too much. The different members of the Fiendish Five were all social outcasts at some point in their life, quite similar to Sly, actually. Only that the Fiendish Five became dickheads at the end of the day. My vocabulary is too small to explain it properly though, so you just see B-Mask's retrospective on the Sly trilogy. I know I can't do the series justice like he did, because he picked up on a lot of things I didn't realize before. Then again, it was a while since I played the Sly games, but fuck it, close the video and go to B-Mask's YouTube channel, I command thee. But since I am the big suck at describing story stuff, I'll try talking about the gameplay. Can't promise they'll be graceful, but fuck it. Sly is a somewhat open-ended platformer. Excluding Russia, in which you go from stage to stage linearly, you collect keys to get to the boss for the area. Each key is in its own sub-area where you do basic platforming or one of the handful of minigames in the game. You need 7 keys to reach the boss, and usually you need 3 keys to access the area where you need to use the 7 keys. But don't fret, the keys ain't flimsy small keys. You can use them as many times as you like. Sly is quite the athletic fucker, if I could say. By the start of the game, he can climb pipes, walk on edges next to a wall, and use his skin to swing on certain objects. This game goes to Crash Free Router, giving you power-ups after defeating bosses. After defeating Sir Rally, you get the ability to jump on narrow points. After defeating Muckshot, you get the ability to walk on tight ropes and slide down small slippery surfaces. After defeating Miss Ruby, you can become invisible and walk 0.25 kilometers per day. And last but not least, after defeating the Pelican King, you get a gun. It's a shame that the gun fucking sucks and needs to be dismantled in the next level, but whatever. Clockwork's a cheap ass though. All the abilities Sly can use, except the gun, he can use by pressing the circle button on different surfaces that usually has a blue sparkle next to it. Except the invisibility stuff, but you know, no one cares. If you think that the Thievius Raccoonus must have been a short book, then no boy, you ain't seen nothing yet. Hidden around in the unfilled levels, you can find clue balls which contains a message about a vault's code, usually residing at the end of the level. After collecting every bottle, Bentley deciphers the code and you get a page from the Thievius Raccoonus, which basically means that you get an upgrade. You can get info on breakables, like clues in that world, additional moves or upgrades to Sly's capabilities. The moves are simple, like a roll, a dive attack, time manipulation, etc. You can switch between them with L2 and R2 and use them with triangle. The upgrades include stuff like a coin magnet, which makes the coins move towards you, and not drowning. The only triangle upgrade I used was the fast forward, because sometimes I just need to get shit along. They're there if you use them, but it doesn't make the game any less hard. It's honestly a hindrance at times, because moves like the dive has a bit of end lag, which can give guards enough time to kill you. Guards aren't resilient. They die in one hit, but I don't think that Sly's better than that. He dies in one hit. Normally. You see these horseshoes? They're basically Aku Aku masks. When you collect one, you take an extra hit. Same fucking shit with 2. When you get 3, instead of turning temporary invincible, you get an extra life. The life system in this game is pretty unremarkable when you think about it. When you lose all lives, you begin at the start of the level with all collectibles lost. But that didn't happen with me a single fucking time. I don't understand why the life system is a thing here, but you know what, it could have been worse. The areas are open-ended, but the levels within areas are pretty linear. It honestly isn't too big a problem, but since you get the movement upgrades at the end of the world, I wish that you could return to earlier worlds and maybe use alternative pathways for time attack, but whatever. The levels are usually well made. The on-foot levels. The minigames are just weird. You have Murray in the car, Murray being defended by a turret, hacking, chicken execution, shooting tombstones, and a bit more. These are just mostly dumb. I do enjoy the fact that it spruces up the gameplay, and it just ain't the same thing over and over again to the end of the game, but it's just too bad that the minigames are just bad. The chicken execution minigame is annoying, but sure is okay, alright. The torch lighting is dumb, the Murray card stuff is annoying, etc. Going on and on and on. I know I sound like a 5-year-old, but most of the minigames are unnecessary. Murray doesn't feel like he has anything to contribute. I only say that because of the improvements Sly 2 made, and I guess I need to be a bit more lenient when it comes to talking about the first game. Either way, I don't really have much else to say about the levels. They're linear, maybe with a gimmick that sets it apart from other levels, but how's the soundtrack? The one aspect that can heighten a player's experience. It's bad. I don't remember anything other than the final boss music. And you know, while it usually fits with the level's theme, it ain't memorable in the slightest. I honestly have nothing else to say about this game. While it's fun, compared to the other games in the series, it's unremarkable. The story is better than most other 3D platformers at the time, and there's some neat visual stuff here, like the 2D cutscenes, but strip that away and it becomes a Crash Bandicoot clone. Yeah, come on, you got fucking Aku mask, okay? You got fucking collect a certain collectible in order to get the special shit in the game, and you can get an extra end, the true ending, if you actually collect all the shit in the game, and blah 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 blah. It's a Crash Bandicoot clone. It only has a free roaming camera and a couple of neat moves. While I do still like the game, compared to the other PS2 mascot platformers, it's bland. Ratchet & Clank had the gunplay. Jak and Daxter had the semi-open world. This has a bit of style, but style is secondary when it comes to the gameplay, and the gameplay doesn't stand out. I don't have anything else to say, so I'll just move on to the next game. I'm probably gonna piss a lot of people off by just saying this shit. Anyway, say what you want in the comments below. In the next video, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know if it's okay to just skip the Sly 2 already. We'll see. Bye.